Oh, shit. Hold on, I need to turn off the chat. Where is the chat? I mean, I love that Shinny's here, but I feel like if I'm gonna put chat here, I need to integrate it better. It's fine. Oh wait, I need to... blah, blah, blah. Well, if you... Oh wait, you can't hear the background music either. Oh dear god. And you can't hear Sarah. Ah! Everything was muted. Okay. I think everything's fine now. Is everything fine? I think so. No,
Whoa.
Whenever someone subscribes, you'll see what the noise is.
Well,
it's something Shinny would recognize. So that's all you need to know. Anyways, welcome. Hello. It's awesome me welcoming you.
What does KRANCH mean?
Did you not know? It's a... I almost said a utensil. That's not it. It's a condiment.
It's a ketchup ranch.
Yes.
Oh.
It's real. I'm not making it up.
I believe it. I believe you.
Always Heinz. They be doing shit.
Heinz is...
They be doing some foul, wretched shit that they should really be stopping.
They're playing potions and they're getting paid to play potions. And I got another ad.
This is just more
how often do you have them set for?
I think for every hour I have 5 minutes of ads. So in reality it's not that much.
No,
or at least that's what I think it's set as.
there's a man dancing with a bunch of puppet cats also dancing to Meow Mix.
I'm glad, you know, now that I can monetize this shit. I say as if I'm getting anything from it.
You can't even cash out till you get like at least $50.
I was about to say, I don't want to have to pay taxes on this. Are you kidding me? I already have to deal with actual income to pay taxes on. Look, it's Hide. Hide, I hope you're watching an ad right now. So, a lot has happened.
Has it?
I mean, I have plenty of things to talk about. I feel like I'm always the one that's actually loaded with things to talk about.
I don't live a very exciting life.
I don't either, but I find excitement in the little things.
You know what? Good for you. I can't relate.
Because if I don't, that's when you find the noose, you know? Like, you gotta get that straight up here. So, I don't remember if Sarah did it first or not, but I'll just do it so I can get it over with. So, initially, I didn't know what to do for my weekly obsession, but I think the main one that I can think of is Christmas. Not actual Christmas, but as in, I had a lot of stuff that came in the mail recently. Not everything. Still have to get in contact about that pre-order shit because I still don't have it. Oh god, it's been over a month since I last contacted them, and they're like, it's not in production. And it's like, well, is it ever gonna be?
Is it gonna get in production, bitch?
But I got a bunch of other things that I had ordered. There's still like one thing I'm waiting on, and one thing I'm waiting to get a resend on, and one thing that I may or may not have to send back because the tailor was not open yesterday or today. So there's got to be a call in to see whether or not it's worth it getting it done. But got a bunch of stuff. A lot of things that I'm hoping to put together to make a cohesive idea. Whether or not it actually happens or not, Lord only knows. But they all showed up like on the same day, which is why it was fun, because it was like a Thursday and then suddenly, ooh, I have like 3 things to open. But something fun that happened. I say fun, this is fun to me, it's not fun to anyone else, but I got 20 new songs, including some highlights such as Canada's Next Top Fat Otter, Fame is a Gun, Nicotine, Kill My Boss, Full Throttle, like, you know, just the normal things. And I would say my main song obsession has been Fame is a Gun, because I've been listening to it ever since it came out as a single, and now even after the album came out, by Addison Rae. Do you know who that name is?
It's very familiar, but I don't think I could tell you.
Good, I won't explain it to you. Basically, she came out with an album recently. I think this past Thursday or Friday. It was one of those. But she had a single off of it called Fame is a Gun that was out for at least a good week and a half beforehand. And I've been listening to that song too much. But it's really good. Like, I don't know how else to describe it, and I've learned that a lot of the songs off of her album I actually really like too, and they're not all super dancey, fast-paced. So I'm surprised, but you know, it's fun. And I learned, oh, we'll get into that later. But that's what's been happening. Hi, Mikey. I hope you're watching an ad right now. Sarah?
So there's no D&D recap because we didn't have D&D this week. Oh, well, actually, no, there is a D&D recap because we had it last week, and we didn't have a pod last week. What happened in D&D?
You better remember for your upcoming one.
I was watching, like, Cats, so my attention was split. Pretty sure.
I thought you said Catso, as in there was a creator named Catso that you were watching, and that's why you were distracted.
No. Oh yes, okay, so we had a mini trial going on between our warlock's patron, and then our fighter's pet gerbil, hamster thingy, mouse. It's confusing what he is, it keeps changing. And the thing is that our warlock is the only one who could understand what was going on, because there's like a cat speaking, their warlock's patron was speaking, but the patron was in the form of a cat. The mouse was speaking. None of us could understand it except for our warlock. And so we're like, what the fuck's going on? And it actually ended up kind of getting dismissed, whatever it was, because the patron was like, these people don't speak cat. And it was like, oh, so like the judge was like, so your fundamental rights were violated. Great. Dismissed. And so we got to leave. Our fighter got confronted by some paladins, because like they implied that his new magical abilities, because he's subclassed into the arcane archer, it comes from their god. And then we continued our search for Well, we went back to the embassy that we had defended beforehand. And we were gifted this thing called a choir stone or something like that. Chorus stone, I think. And it basically lets people talk telepathically. So we have that now. And then we were tasked with let's rest up first. Hallelujah. We're all out of spell slots. We need to recharge, please. And then we went to follow trying to find this guy the same guy who showed up and kind of started this whole mess at said embassy. The guy who was supposed to be dead in the war, but now he's back and he's alive and he's probably very confused and on a rampage. And through like some more skill checks, we tracked him over to this old like pirate bar kind of a thing. And where he had beaten everyone up apparently, and had taken the captain because he saw a flyer for the Remembrance Festival, for the that's a festival to honor the country that he was fighting in the war for, that is now a barren wasteland. So they were beating up, we were about to go find him, and then we saw, oh, there's this guy in the back who looks beaten up, but he's not acting like he's beaten up, and we just follow him back to the kitchen. He just starts rolling dough, and we're like, well, no, he doesn't. He picks up a rolling pin and starts rolling the table where there's no dough there, and we're like, huh. And then some living spells and a frozen person come walking in, and we're like, ah, fuck. And so we have to start fighting. And so we defeat that. Only one person died, so it's fine. We went over to the festival grounds where they were still setting up, and we were gonna do some more skill checks, and we ended up with our warlock and our bard, who's Yoshi. And this entire story has kind of been based around Yoshi's character. And because she's from Seer, she's from the country that this Remembrance Festival is for. And so her and the warlock were playing kind of a duet to see if they could like lure out the guy we're trying to find. And when I say a duet, I mean that very loosely, because we have the actual, the bard who can actually play the instruments, and then we have our warlock who has a kazoo.
Basically,
okay. And what ends up happening is a Warforged walks up and it starts talking to Felicity, our bard, about Seer and the Remembrance Festival and all that. And Elias hates Warforged, walks off. And it's kind of becomes a heated conversation between Felicity and this Warforged. And it's, we ended up, and she thinks that they're about to fight, but she's the only one in that area right now. So if they fight, Godspeed. But that's where we left off.
very convoluted.
It's great. I love it. That, honestly, that my D&D character is probably my actual weekly obsession. Because I have been writing stuff as a backstory type thing to send over to the DM, and I'm worried that it's going to get even more out of hand, and it's by the time I send it over to him, it's going to be like 5,000 words, and I'm going to be like, I'm so sorry.
Well, clearly not if you're sending the words over.
But it's the inspiration, because I'm doing stuff for a backstory. Part of the backstory, because he asked me a question about my character's backstory,
Dangerous,
and I was like, well, and so now it's tumbled into this, and now I'm basically making a bunch of an entire fake adventuring party too for this.
I think when I was initially asked about when I first made my first D&D character, and I was asked to make a slight backstory, but I was told that it didn't need to be complicated, but I think mine was like 2 pages long. But even then, it's like, for a backstory, I feel like that's short.
I
you
mean,
want it to
I'm
be
wanting
in
to do a
depth
lot of
of some
stuff.
kind.
Yeah. I mean, I could go on and on about my character. I love my character, my little storm sorcerer. Obsessed, if you can't tell. Um,
Unhealthy amount.
so I would say that's probably my weekly obsession. And as far as music goes, we've talked about my playlists, how I number them and everything.
Have you made a new
Um,
one?
I've hit number 50.
Okay.
I hit 50,
What
I think
makes
on
you make
Monday.
another one?
When I start, so these numbered playlists are specifically the ones that I like of songs that I'm like currently want to listen to, like the ones that are in my head, the ones that I'm jamming to at the moment. And so once I start getting sick kind of the songs in that playlist, then I make a new playlist. And it's usually, I can usually tell I need to make a new playlist when I keep wanting to skip the song that I'm currently listening to. And usually it's also a case of the songs that were most recently added to that playlist are the first ones that get added to the new playlist.
I was about to say, because like it depends. I feel like it'd be very convoluted because then you have to move certain things over based off of whether or not they seem like ones that you would want to actually listen to right now.
Well,
And
I
then,
mean, for instance, playlist 49 was when I had just finished rewatching Ruby and everything, so I had like a whole bunch of Ruby songs on here. And so like yeah, there's 96 songs in this playlist and 57 of them are just Ruby songs. And so it was a case of wasn't vibing with all the Ruby stuff anymore. So I wanted to move over. But I recently found out, because I don't know if you've heard about what SoundCloud is doing.
there it
Um,
is.
oh, I didn't get to hear.
Yo. Now Faye doesn't have to watch an ad.
I don't know if you know about what SoundCloud's doing, where they're like, if you posted something to our website, it's automatically being used to train AI, kind of a deal. And
I feel bad for them
so
with all the things that I still have up there.
so there is a lot of people who only had stuff on SoundCloud that are moving fully over to like Spotify, and apparently a creator I used to be obsessed with and used to listen to nonstop on SoundCloud, Jubyphonic, has moved over a lot of her stuff. And so I'm like revisiting like what feels like my childhood in some of this music. And so I'm just that's been very exciting for me.
Hey, look, you do find excitement in the tiny things.
I do. I mean, I've also been focusing a lot on, I don't know if I would consider it self-care to a certain extent, I guess.
Like stabbing myself in the gut every couple of days.
No.
I don't know if it's self-care.
No, so Yoshi and I,
Oh god, is this about stewing in bathwater?
No. Yoshi and I, we ended up kind of developing a habit where even though we have a Brita filter, as this was a housewarming gift from my parents, from my dad and stepmom, when I moved into this apartment, because they know how particular I am with drinking water and everything. I can't drink from the tap. It will make me throw up. And so they got me a Brita filter. Shut up. Stop laughing at me.
Would you just like die of dehydration if I put like a spider sticker on your Brita filter?
No.
And took away your bottled water.
No.
I put one tiny little spider sticker on every bottle of water. Oh my gosh.
No, I can drink tab if I have to. I don't want to. It does make me feel nauseous. I don't like it. Stop it.
It's just so funny to me.
Hey, Giggles McGee.
She's like, I will die if I drink tap water. In
I never
fact.
said that. I never said
When I
that.
shower, if any of it gets in my mouth, projectile all over the bathroom.
Why did you say this? We got into a habit.
Does Florida have better tap water than New York? Probably. Not by much, I wouldn't imagine. But
I don't know. But we would always get bottled water, and because of that, I mean, I was drinking the water. I drank a lot of water, but the thing is, we would end up just kind of having bottles everywhere. We would clean them up, but it would just, some would get stragglers, and we would just leave them, and it'd just be But what I did, what I've done is I went ahead and I fully cleaned our Brita filter, and I
what was in
got
it?
a few. Nothing. It was just we hadn't used it for a while, and so it was empty. It was sitting there empty, but it was just like it had some dust on the top. So I was like, let me just clean this out.
It's protein.
And I changed out the filter and everything like that. And so, and I refilled it, and I got some cute new water bottles from Walgreens, that are glass, which I feel like is dangerous, but at the same time, I think everything tastes better when it's coming out of a glass. So.
Your particularities about liquids astound
I have
me.
nothing, and what's even funnier about my particularity about this kind of stuff is that I think I've said this before. When it comes to like actual like solid foods and everything like that, I can't just willy-nilly taste those things. Those things, I'm far more likely to throw up if I taste something like that, if I have to actually physically chew it. But if it's like a drink or something like that, I'll take a sip of that any day of the week, as long as I know it's not like dirty or going to hurt me or something like that.
Well, I feel like you think a lot of things are going to hurt you.
Well, but so it's funny to me. But like, if there's a single like speck of something that I don't know what it is floating in my water, no, I'm not drinking that. So.
What if you found? Let me paint you a word picture. So you're. Yeah, what restaurant has your favorite chicken tendies?
I don't fucking know. Like a sit-down restaurant?
Yeah.
Honestly, it was probably Chili's when they had their traditional chicken tenders.
Okay, so traditional Chili's chicken tenders. We're at a Chili's. You take a bite of your chicken tender. So moist, so delicious. Yum yum. You look down, and you know how their old ones were, where the batter kind of wasn't like fully on. So there's like
that was
almost
like
a
one of the best
gappy.
part. Yeah.
You look down, in between the gap of the batter and the chicken, you see a hair. It's not your hair. What do you do?
I wouldn't care.
So it's specifically only with liquids.
Okay, it depends. So, unlike Yoshi, how she sees a hair and she's like, nope, never mind, I'm throwing this away kind of a deal.
I've been with her when that happened before.
Yeah, yeah.
And it was at a Chili's at an airport. Oh, that was so stupid.
If I see like a single hair in food, I'm gonna be like, okay, whatever. I pull it out, I toss it to the side, and I keep eating. That doesn't bother me.
What if it's a scab? Is that when it changes? Would you eat someone else's scab?
Like clearly a scab where it's like I'm not gonna look at it and be like, is that part of the chicken kind of a deal?
I think you'd be able to tell it's not part of the chicken.
I mean, if it's like, oh, you're making them freak the fuck out. If it was a scab on the food, what I would probably do.
Meanwhile, Mikey's like, what are you talking about?
What I would do is I would probably be like, I would like tear off that
it's
part
scab.
from the rest of it.
It's
No.
scab.
It's like a piece of skin. It's like a like when you
It's
have
like
like a
skin
cut or
mixed with
something.
blood or whatever. It's the crusty bit.
Yeah, it's like when you're
It'd be
no.
crunchy.
It's
It would
when
add a texture.
you're
When your moon hits your knee and you bleed, you say wee. It's a scab.
okay. No, it's a
It's
when
not
you have
always
like
blood.
a cut. When you have a cut of some kind, or some sort of like little wound, and it's like it was bleeding and everything, and it kind of forms that little barrier where it's like it's not really healed, but it's also not like fully open anymore, and like you might pick it off or something like that because ooh, it's a rough texture, let me pick it off. That's
Sarah
what the
speaking
scab
from
is.
experience.
Yes.
The protective
Yes.
layer of healing wounds.
What are you, a biology textbook?
Well, he does read now. I say as if he hasn't been reading before. I mean, I don't know.
So like if it was a case like that, I would, like I said, I would tear off the part that it was touching and everything and just set it aside and be like, okay.
You were like, I'll save you for later, save the best
No.
for last.
No.
That's funny. I feel no, because the thing that happened with Yoshi was we were literally, I think we were in the Chicago airport and we were getting a snack from a Chili's there, and she had ordered a burger with avocado, and she opened it up and she saw a hair like in the avocado, and she had taken like a bite and she's like, I'm not eating this anymore. And do you know how expensive Chili's is at an airport?
I can imagine.
Yeah. I don't know.
The thing is, I used to like, when I was like really young, I used to chew my hair.
I don't find that gross.
No, but like, I'm very desensitized when it comes to like strands of hair.
That
I think I've mentioned it. I used to also suck my thumb a lot when I was a kid. And so I can guarantee you that when you're a kid, I don't think you wash your hands as much as you're supposed to.
I mean, that's why they always get sick.
Yeah. So combining the fact that I did not wash my hands as much as I do nowadays, with the fact that I sucked my thumb as a kid, like, there's probably a lot of shit that got into my system.
Literally. Also,
Probably.
Hide, you were raised in a boarding school.
You were never a kid.
For orphan children. So, I don't know what to tell you. But anyways, okay, so I have some things I could talk about.
Okay.
First of all, did you hear that The Sims is finally getting fairies? The Sims 4 is finally getting fairies.
You mentioned it when we were playing Baldur's Gate.
They're getting fairies. That's all. Just because technically speaking, they had. I'm pretty sure in The Sims 3. Well, The Sims 3 had a lot that The Sims 4 still doesn't have.
Sims 3 had fairies. It was part of their supernatural pack.
Not
I
furries.
loved
We
fairies.
already have furries in the form of werewolves.
And they're extra furries in Sims 4.
And technically, there's like actual, I mean, mascot, but fursuits in The Sims 4. So. But no, I just thought that was something funny. Something that I have been playing, I want to say for the past week, this past week specifically, was I went through the entirety of the Pokemon Y game. Not the entirety, but like up through the Elite Four. I haven't done any of the post Elite Four stuff yet. Because I feel like you need to travel around and I ground beef. But one of the games that I had in my 3DS, like actually in it, not like a cartridge, was Cave Story. And I don't remember, have you ever played Cave Story?
On Steam, and it's one of those games I want to play on stream one day because it's one of those games where it's like I could not remember the name of it for so long, but I remember it so vividly. and I used to think the story was so interesting, but I haven't fully played it, and I could not tell you what the story was.
Well, that's the thing. You know how when you were playing Ocarina of Time, you couldn't get past Jabu Jabu?
Yeah.
That's how I was with this game for the longest time. Like, I had gotten it back when I was a child. And I couldn't get past like this one thing in the beginning for the longest time that I got past obviously this time around, but I have never seen any of the gameplay beyond a certain point. And it's hard. Even on like normal difficulty, it's not an easy game. Because
That's gonna bode well.
It's like, it's a side-scrolling shooter. It's not a Metroidvania, I wouldn't call it that, but it's like a side-scrolling platform shooter. And they give you like a bunch of different kinds of weapons and everything, but it's based off of like you need to get XP to upgrade them to the best version of themselves. But if you get hurt, it gets rid of some of the XP and then it downgrades your weapon.
I don't remember this game being like that.
And
that's not how I remember the game.
I'm playing it on normal. Like, I'm not playing it on extra hard or anything. This is technically the normal way to do it. And it is really hard. There was this one fight where I was fighting like this weird tank thing, and I could not work out how I was supposed to kill it too, because they bombard you with like different kinds of projectiles that'll come at you. And I found like this hidden gun that shoots bubbles that was really helpful in the fight, but it has limited ammo that has to like recharge over time, and it's a lot. And the story is interesting, especially considering it's called Cave Story, but I'm pretty sure the entirety of it is like taking place on a floating island. But I haven't fully finished it. I think I'm close to like the final bits, because now I'm like at underwater parts, and that's not fun. But so far, I will say a lot of people have just died. Like, there's no they're coming back, there's no anything. A lot of them have been like, I hope you can go on without me, and then they just poof. And you just have to move on with that. But yeah, so they're just dead. And rabbits are taking drugs. But yeah,
Wow.
it's crazy, but it's been fun. It's given me something to do, you know, in the slow times at work. But that was just something that, yeah, it's called Cave Story. I guess it's super old, because originally I'm pretty sure it was just like a Japanese only game, and then it got ported to an English translation.
I remember the Yogscast playing it, and that's what I
don't remember that
from.
at all, but that's because I wasn't like it.
That did, for some reason, that was like, that made me realize, why didn't I talk about this? Duh, that's my weekly obsession. It's because this is what I've been obsessing over this week. I've gotten back into Zelda.
I have things to say, but you go first. It triggered something in me that I was like, oh yes, I remember that now.
At first, because I haven't really had anything main that I'm watching right now on like YouTube or anything, and so when I run out of things to watch, or I'm having like kind of a rough time, I go back to certain let's plays that are comforting. And sometimes, depending on the mood, if I want something to just kind of more listen to than anything, I will go back and rewatch all of Markiplier's FNAF Let's Plays. Those are usually some good ones. But this time,
that was screaming.
But I don't know, it's comfy to me. But I decided I was gonna go back and rewatch RT Games' Breath of the Wild permadeath run, as well as his playthrough of Tears of the Kingdom. And he also recently played through the entirety of Echoes of Wisdom. So I watched all of those, and it made me like, I want to play Tears of the Kingdom. I want to restart Tears of the Kingdom.
You know how long it takes to redo all of that?
I'm well aware. To be fair, I never finished the game in my original run. I got all the sages. Yeah, I got all the sages, but I don't think I ever went to actually fight Ganon. But like I said, I got all the sages, and I think most of the story stuff. Like, I got all the tears and everything. I just never finished the actual game. But so I've restarted, and I just got off the Great Sky Island. I'm about to get the paraglider, but so I've been playing that a little bit off and on and everything like that. And I have also been like watching stuff about the timeline and everything and how convoluted and wild it is.
It
And
has
it's
been
interesting.
convoluted and wild.
But yeah, so that's kind of what like I've been doing. And then I also just did some like I downloaded Stardew Valley for the first time on this computer.
It should run
And
fine.
and I also downloaded Stardew Valley Expanded, and I'm gonna play that for the first time because I surprisingly have not played the biggest Stardew Valley mod.
How much
So,
does it like add to the game now?
a lot, like a whole bunch of new characters. It you have like the option of like 3. You can do any of the main farms, but they give you the option of like these 3 farms that are super fucking big. And they have like their own quest lines attached. It adds so much to the map. It adds so much to the story and quests and everything. It adds crops, it adds fish. So much. So fucking much.
Do you own a pair of red pants?
I don't think so.
This is what I'm saying.
What? What?
This is what I'm saying.
What?
Because guess what, Faye? I messaged Kester about it, and she said, "Oh, I expected you to just know." And I'm like, "No, Kester. Normal people don't own a pair of red pants." But yeah, and I'd also like it to be caught on record from what was sent to me, because I had not seen anything about what the new outfits looked like, because at this point the outfits that the wedding party is wearing has changed. When I looked at it, the first thing I thought of that I put into words later when I was talking to my mom was, it looks like what I imagined Jesus's apostles would wear.
Oh no.
And I was like, well, I don't know. One of them's Catholic, so maybe there's a tie-in there. But I just mean like color-wise, because it was not what I was expecting, and there's a bit of weird sheerness that I'm confused about. But I will wear whatever that doesn't show my cooch, you know? And apparently I'm the one that's going to get the red pants. Because I don't have red pants right now. There's a lot of questions in the air. But no, the thing that I was going to say about Zelda was, do you remember way back when I had mentioned Ethel Cain?
Vaguely, yes.
Basically, a music artist that, technically speaking, Ethel Cain is like a persona and like a story-driven music project.
Yes, I remember
all that
this.
stuff.
I remember this, yes.
Well, the girl who actually, her name's Hayden, who does the entire Ethel Cain project and everything. She does like these random videos too, like hour-plus long videos about random things, and one of the things that she's obsessed with is Zelda.
Well,
Which no one expected, but then also one of the videos that she had come out with recently, like within the past week, that again I put on in the background at work, was all about perfumes and candles. And I'm here thinking to myself, wow, this is crazy, because she was talking about like things that she got at a con a couple weeks ago, including like some retro N64 Zelda games, like Japanese releases. And I don't know, it's just, and she apparently got the original Japanese GameCube version of Twilight Princess with like the big map booklet guide and everything. So that was just something that I had been watching recently that I was like, I find that hilarious. But also, speaking about Zelda, why so many people I have seen are buying the Switch 2 and they're just acting like everything's okay.
one of the main PokeTuber that I follow, I believe he got gifted the Switch 2. and he
It's
actually,
not okay.
he got gifted the Switch 2, and the dock just wouldn't work. The dock wasn't
Deserved.
putting anything. So he had to actually send it to get fixed. But he got another one back and it works fine.
I keep
I
seeing
don't know
like
if you
videos
saw.
about it. About everyone like, look at this game now on the Switch 2. And it's like, you got a Switch 2. Are you not part of the collective? And it's like, no, because they're Nintendo YouTubers, so it makes sense.
I mean, I know a lot of Nintendo YouTubers like just got gifted the Switch 2. But I'd say that I know a Minecraft YouTuber who got gifted the Switch 2. But I saw this article that was like, if you wanted to fully do their tutorial of the software that you have to pay for.
Yeah, it's money. You
have to pay for to even fully get that experience. You need like a whole bunch of like, you need like up to like $200 of extra software, because you need the camera and you need a Switch 2 Pro controller that has certain grips, and then you also need a TV that's at least 4K for certain things. And it's like, if you don't have all that, then you're not gonna get, you can't fully experience the tutorial thing. And I was like, okay.
Also, I've seen the home screen and it looks basically the exact same as the normal one, the first one, I guess, which I always thought was so stupid, because, and they've shown that they can do this, especially considering this is something that could make them even more money, which surprised me why they don't do it. But remember how on the 3DS they made it so that you could like get themes?
Yeah.
Why have they never done that for any Switch or any like mainline console?
I don't know.
Because I feel like that would make them so much money.
It would.
Because the amount of people that like just customizing their shit because they make it impossible to do it homebrew style.
Yeah.
But even then,
You take a screw out of the Switch and they're like, banned.
like, I am so worried for the future in terms of like Nintendo games. Like, imagine if they release, granted this would be forever in the future at this point, but imagine if they release another Zelda game and it's Switch 2 exclusive.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that's already, I'm lucky that Pokemon ZA.
Thank God it has one copy that's going to be on the normal Switch.
Exactly. But you know that Gen 10 is going to be Switch 2 exclusive.
But also, I have this gut feeling that because it's a launch game and it's not like one of the games that already existed on the Switch 1 where like they're making a new quote unquote new version that's just like slightly upgraded graphics, I feel like they're gonna pull some shit where the Switch 2 version is gonna have like extra DLC.
Oh, they've already said that it's going to.
No, but like DLC, not just an upgraded visual, like actual stuff in gameplay.
They've already said that. They've already said that a bunch of Switch 1 games are getting extra stuff for on the Switch 2. Like, I'm pretty sure Tears of the Kingdom has gotten extra gameplay.
It only doesn't count if
Only
Hide
Kirby
buys
does?
us the
Okay.
Switch. Because Hide, as we know, is loaded. But...
It's Nintendo. They can do whatever the fuck they want, Mikey.
And they clearly have been. And people are doing it. Because that's just the way it is. Like, because it's not even that. It's also just a bunch of people that I've seen posting. Like, this was before initially when the Switch 2 had actually, like, shipped out to people that had pre-ordered, I guess. But people were saying, I'm so excited for my Switch 2 to come. But I'm thinking, how much money are you going to end up paying overall because of this entire change? With the games and the Switch console, and how they're probably going to start charging even more and more and more for the games that are coming out. Plus, you know that every game is going to have a DLC now, regardless. And it makes me sad. Because I remember the days when you could just get a game and that was your game. And now even the games don't work the same way anymore if you want a physical version, which doesn't really change much for me. because I always typically got the digital version anyways, but I find it ridiculous what they're doing.
Is it gonna also just be like, I'm assuming if I bought Legend CA on the Switch, like a digital version on my Switch 1, if I got a Switch 2 in the future, that would be working on the Switch 2, right? I would have access to all of my Switch 1 downloaded
I'm
games.
pretty sure the crossplay
Okay.
works that way, yeah. They
Okay, good.
backported
Because
it
I
at
also have
least.
like Legends ZA, not ZA. I have Legends Arceus on my Switch 1 and stuff like that. I wouldn't be surprised. It's also garbage.
No, I don't think it's a separate cost, but you need Nintendo Online to even do anything with it.
Yeah. And
Which
I
is
mean,
so
it's
hilarious.
also it's an upgraded cost as well for Nintendo Online if you want access to all of the GameCube games,
It's just a lot of
which is
money.
annoying, especially for a lot of Pokemon fans who really want to play XD and Coliseum and all that stuff.
Yeah. I like Hide had mentioned, I'm surprised but also not surprised that, because again, this is something that they did on like Wii U and even Wii or 3DS, where they would literally make virtual console ports of games that you could just have. Like you would buy it essentially as a new game, but you could just play it all the time rather than having it linked to a subscription service.
It's dumb. And then also, the thing is, you also have to tack on, for me, or for Pokemon fans, if you have a lot of Pokemon, you need a Pokemon Home subscription as well. To be fair, it's not that much. It's like $2 like a year. But it's still kind of dumb that I have to pay for the full access to Pokemon Home.
It's always just that there's a bunch of separate things that, granted, I don't think they should be like this in the first place, but the fact that they're all separate makes it even harder to keep track of things, and it makes it even more difficult to just exist within the space of being a gamer. It makes
If
it
you don't have a
hard
finance degree, you're fucked.
because God forbid you forget that you have a Pokemon Home subscription and now you owe the IRS. Like, one thing leads to another, you're a tax evasion. Like, and I don't want that to be my life. But also, paying an entirely new thing for the Switch 2 to then still have the carcass of a Switch 1. I feel like that's also one of the main reasons why I don't think I could ever get a Switch 2 anytime soon. If potentially ever, I'm sure at some point it's going to be where there's a game that I really want to play that they are not releasing backported. But because I would have the carcass of my original Switch and I would be like, wow, I spent that much money on both of these things. And it would just make me sad. Because I want the longevity.
The only reason I can see myself getting a Switch 2 would be I get ZA and it just literally won't run.
You know, I've thought
For
about
whatever
that.
reason.
I've thought about if it comes out, when it comes out specifically, and it comes out for the Switch 1 too. I am thinking to myself, watch it run worse than Scarlet and Violet.
Yeah, that's what I'm worried
And they're
about.
just gonna be like, well, should have gotten the Switch 2.
So like I can see that, or if there's like a really good deal where I could get ZA and a Switch 2 for some reason. I doubt it, but like, and if there is,
They're probably coming out with a custom console, let's be real.
yeah, for Gen 10, when Gen 10 comes out,
Gen 10.
and it's gonna be stop, and it's gonna be a Switch 2 exclusive, then I'm gonna have to just bite the bullet and just get a fucking Switch 2 so I can play the new game. Or if there's a new Animal Crossing.
I feel like that's
Which
even
I
less
doubt it.
likely.
Yeah.
It wasn't Pokemon Coliseum on the GameCube, and you're
Yes.
saying okay. Well, it has certain. Have you seen some of the Pokemon in Pokemon Coliseum? Gengar and no Crobat. Crobat looks fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure they gave him an underbite. I don't know. I've been seeing a lot of posts about like waiting for my Switch 2, and I keep thinking to myself like, was no one else clued in on the fact of like how horrible the deals we're getting for people that actually wanted to play any kind of game in this market? And I guess they either didn't see it or they did see it and they don't care. So it is what it is.
And for some things, like for certain YouTubers, I do understand like them getting it because it's also technically part of their livelihood.
It's just sad overall because I feel like, and maybe it also is that in combination with just growing up, but it's like the magic of the games has died in its own way.
What I have heard is that Deltarune chapters 3 and 4 came out. I know you don't care about this.
I don't even. What's Delta?
It's you know the person who made Undertale, Toby Fox?
No, I know what you're talking about now.
Yeah. So Deltarune chapter. To be fair, I only played Deltarune chapter 1. I haven't played chapter 2, and it's not
Oh my
Undertale
gosh,
2.
wait, hold on. I have
today.
something to talk about to you as well. I just remembered. Hold on. Yeah.
Okay.
Finish.
But a lot of people really loved it. A lot of people were really excited about it, and I would argue that it's at least a little bit of a shining light in all of this is because Toby Fox actually put out a statement over to regarding people who were getting like copyright claims and everything and strikes everything on their channels because they were putting up uploads and they were getting striked for the music. And he said, if you get striked, dispute it. It should clear up. This is YouTube's fault. That is because they have an automated system that just does it, but I can't get rid of it. I can't get rid of like the license of it, or else people are gonna try and claim it and try to make money off of it. And it's just Toby Fox and Temmie. Those are the two main people I know who have worked on Undertale and Deltarune, and they're fantastic. I love them so much. They make these games because they like making them, and they like engaging with the community, and just doing this for the sake of, hey, we like games, and we like to tell stories. So here's a game and a story.
Okay. Did you see the new story that was released by the same dude who did Petscop?
What?
It's called 3D Workers Island. And I thought about you because you had said that you would like the Petscop thing and everything. And I watched a couple.
So is this a game?
No. It's like a project of sorts, because it's a screensaver that you can watch technically, but it's a story encapsulated in a screensaver.
Oh god, how long would this take to go through this?
Basically, there's this thread that shows you a bunch of different pages and stuff that you can go to, and you can navigate.
Send it to me?
You can navigate here. You can navigate basically through this entirety of these threads related to this screensaver. And there's dark ones where they think creepy things are going on in the screensaver, and there's other ones where they're like, this is just a nice little screensaver to watch. And I don't know, I thought of you because I watched a video that went more in depth into like the entirety of the story. And I thought
I'm definitely gonna look into this.
Interesting because the way that the story was proposed, through like the forum posts and everything, was it made it seem very much like the creator was kind of shining a light on how people can take seemingly a simplistic thing into a really negative slash dark context, kind of like turning something into a creepypasta or like a horror thing. And some people had mentioned they were thinking about how it was not only a reference to the people that were the fans of Petscop and going into all these details about how they're attached to these characters and how these characters mean certain things to them, and because of that attachment that makes it more real for them, versus, like, for instance, having regret about potentially including certain details and all that stuff. It's a lot. It was very in depth, it was very complicated, and there wasn't any like full grown there wasn't like full blown
Send me that video
definitive explanation that I thought that's what made it interesting, because it's very theory crafty. But yeah,
I love stuff like that.
because I saw it the other day. Oh, I said the other day, this was probably almost a month ago. But I only just remembered it now.
All right.
I was gonna bring it up, but I forgot to write it down.
Felt that.
But when I heard that it was by the same dude that made Petscop, and this was like a little after we had done that episode, I was like, oh, I wonder if Sarah's seen that. So yeah. But another thing, this is just fun. This is another topic. I got affiliate.
You got what?
Affiliate. In case you didn't know, because you know everyone's been watching ads for the past hour. But I don't know how, because you know how you have to meet like those certain criteria. I didn't meet the follower count. It still says I have 45 out of 50.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's like overall like people who have followed and then
maybe
unfollowed?
I hit the hard pity. Maybe that's what it was. I mean, generally speaking, I feel like I'm relatively consistent. There are some weeks when I miss, but typically I at least stream.
You're far more consistent than me, that's for sure.
Wow, Mikey. What is that supposed to mean?
He's sad he can't watch for free anymore.
Well, subscribe, bitch. Like, I don't know what else to tell you. To be fair, this happened last Tuesday. This past last Tuesday. I did do some of the little channel point rewards. I don't know how fast you guys get them, like channel points in this relation. So I don't know how fast you'll be able to hit any of these goals. But these are just, not fully temporary, but these are just kind of some placeholder ones that I thought of. And I figured it would be much easier to get roasted by me than to get a compliment by me.
Why don't you get Jack in the Box ad? I don't think Jack in the Box is even here, anywhere near me.
But there is a fun reward. Did you see the second to last one that I put on my channel rewards?
Hold on.
I just thought it would be funny.
I read one of my DMs. Oh God. Wait,
Yeah.
hold on. What's the extent of that?
Well, I specified I will read a random DM I've sent to somebody.
Okay.
Because I feel like if I were to read other people's, then it's getting a bit privacy thing. But if it's I'm reading what I've said, then you know. I'm not gonna pick one where it's like saying direct names and locations or anything. But I feel like, you know, it gives a little insight into some fun stuff.
Get roasted. I love how the get complimented is way higher. Why is it 7777?
Because 5,000 was too cheap, but 10,000 was too much. And to be fair, I might make the IRL voice ban lower, because that means I don't have to talk. But yeah. I have other ones that I've thought of, but I still need to work on them. And I'm working on getting the custom emotes, and I'm gonna work on making the custom subscriber badge things so that they're not just the default stars and everything. And I'm hoping to also, I think I put it in, I'd have to check my stream, but I think I put in the sound thing that Shinny and Faye have, where you can play custom sounds, but you need to link it up specifically so that you can hear the sounds and so that they can be selected from the channel point rewards. So there'll be some finagling, but I've made steps. Things have happened. Have you paid taxes?
Yeah, back when taxes were due.
I mean on Twitch related things.
No, because I wasn't getting paid for Twitch.
Okay, good. Not that you're not getting paid, but more like I don't want to have to do taxes for Twitch. Because they make you input a lot of information.
It's true.
I had to remember what my social security number was. Meanwhile, Sarah's like, I didn't have to put that. Are you sure you got the right one? Oh, okay.
And Hide, I will be getting back to it. I have a plan to try and get myself to do certain things again. So you just wait, be patient.
I don't think Sarah's ever gonna finish Persona.
I will. It'll just take me 5 years.
But one thing that I specifically, Sarah, you kind of know about. Shinny knows more about it because you walked in. I say walked in as if there was a room, but you walked in on me talking to Shinny about it. So I had artist drama that happened.
Yeah, I want to know about this because I've only heard snippets.
Technically speaking, this has been going on since March.
Oh boy.
It has been going on since March, and I told Shinny a bit about it after, like, in my frustration part of it. So I told her about it after the initial stuff had happened. But the gist of it is, I had commissioned an artist to do a small little character spread of my little witch dude. And I specifically wanted to just get that kind of stuff. I provided a reference. I made a better reference sheet that had more details and more descriptions and like color stories and all that stuff, because I was like, if I'm gonna get a commission, I want to make sure I'm actually giving people a good reference to go off of. And went through this entire thing with an artist that I really liked his style. I'm not gonna name him, but I'm gonna tell you my experience with him. And
You should tell me privately so I know not to go to him.
we settled on a price, because I feel like I'm very much a, well, for multiple reasons, but I'm very much a, I 100% support artists. I will 100% pay artists the amount of money that they deserve to be paid for commissions and all of that. So money is never an issue in terms, oh, I say that money's never an issue in terms of, I don't think someone's charging too much, but at the same time, it's not like I'm gonna throw $500 at what I don't think would be worth $500 to me. So with that in mind, this was not over like $200 or anything. Initially, I think it was close to $100, but that's because it was like a spread, so it was gonna be multiple different things. And so I was like, sure, cool. It was an upfront payment because I know some people are different in terms of like how they accept their payments, because technically speaking, I've commissioned another artist since then who has been way better. And the way that she does it is she does a 50-50, where she'll send you a sketch, you pay 50, and then she'll send you the full version, you pay the other half.
Yeah.
But this person was all up front, which I'm like, sure, I have no reason not to trust you. And I did that, and this was like back in the beginning of March. And I think it was like maybe 2 or so weeks. I'd like discussed with this person. I was like, I like seeing just a sketch to know that there's progress or something, if that's possible, if that's something that you do. And he was like, sure, yeah, cool. A foreshadowing note is that this person is not great at communication.
Oh boy.
Because to my knowledge, not only did he, not from him telling me directly, but not only did he go to the hospital at some point, but then he also moved to a new place. I was never told this. I only learned about it after the fact from like stories of his on Instagram. And I'm assuming that's part of the reason why there is a lot of delay, but I don't think that's the only reason. Because this is also an artist that like is almost constantly posting different commissions that he's doing for people. So he's obviously working the bank. He's doing that commission, he's getting the money. So I had probably been in contact with him for like maybe 2 weeks, I want to say, before I had reached out to him because I hadn't heard anything from him, asking like, hey, just wanted to see if there's an update or something, because I hadn't heard anything from him and it had been 2 weeks. And originally in the email, hold on, I'm gonna pull it up now.
Oh boy.
In the email, because we had talked through email specifically that he had sent me when I had initially asked to get a commission from him. He specifically had said, let's see. He said it would be done within 2 weeks. And I had not heard anything. He had said 1 to 2 weeks, but I was like, 2 weeks, sure. I had not heard anything from him in that 2 week period.
Oh boy.
I messaged him. I said, hey, what's the progress of it? He messaged me a photo saying, oh, I'm working on it now. It was in the very beginning sketch phases. So I was like, okay, cool. At least I know it's being worked on. Because I wasn't like in a rush or anything for it. So it's not like I was super, you need to get it done by this time frame. But I found it kind of iffy that he told me within a certain time frame. And it was definitely not within that certain time frame. So then fast forward probably another like week or two. And I see that at this point, I'm pretty sure he had already gone to the hospital. I was not informed of it. And I was just like, hey, just wanted to make sure you're okay and everything. I saw that you had gone to the hospital recently. Just don't worry about like rushing to get my commission done or anything. And he was like, sure. Probably shouldn't have said that. Not about it, considering what has happened. But basically, long story short, the entire DMs with this person has gone on all the way since, let's see, when's the original date? March 16th. And between the period of like March 24th, which is when he had initially sent the sketch update to me, I only received an actual full completed thing on May 14th. So it took about a month, first of all, which I would be fine with, except this was not communicated to me. And then on top of that, what he had sent me was not accurate to the reference that I sent him, nor was it fully what I asked for.
Uh-oh.
So this is when I was having that initial conversation with Shenny of like, I don't want to be mean, but at the same time, this isn't what I asked for and I already paid. So I had messaged him this not long, but like normal style, well, chunky message. That was, hey, first of all, I think this turned out super cute and I appreciate the effort you put into it. However, I do notice that key specifications for the reference were left out. And I gave examples. And I'm telling you that I gave examples because this was done May 14th that I messaged him back. And I was not given the updated version until this past Friday, the 6th of June.
Oh boy.
And when I got it, I looked at it and it didn't have everything that I asked for.
Dear God.
So, something that I had initially showed Shinny was when I first got the first art piece, I had basically edited it myself through Photoshop and Clip Studio Paint to have what I had wanted. And I did a pretty decent job in updating it and making it consistent with what I wanted. And then the updated version that he said, it had a bit more extra shading on certain parts, but it was still missing like key features that I had asked for. And so, because at this point it had been like over 2 months, I didn't say anything. I didn't even really say thank you for the art. I was just like, thank you for sending it. And I ended it there because I was like, you're not gonna message me because you don't message people, and I'm not gonna say I'm so grateful for you not giving me what I wanted. So I ended up combining the edited version that I did with the updated version that he did, so that it's something that I actually want. But
Jesus.
I'm wondering, because this is, like I said, this is a person that posts commission work all the time, if he's gonna dare post one of the versions, because I would sound off in the comments saying this is not what I wanted and this does not reflect this character. But yeah, so that's something that's been going on for a while. And then when I initially got sent the first version, I saw that this one other artist that I had been following for probably like 3 years at this point said that she was opening emergency commission slots. And because I've never seen this artist open commission slots before, I, of course, was like, I'm jumping on the bandwagon here.
Train.
And I started up my communication with her about the same time that he had sent me the original version of it, the incomplete version of it. And I would like to say that at this point, I almost have the final finished version of that art piece. And I have made slight multiple not variations, but like edits to what I've seen from her. And she's taken it fully in stride of like, sure, yeah, I can do that. And there's been communication and all that. And I'm just, it's like the dichotomy is crazy to me.
Okay, Mikey, if it was out of spite, that's not professional, and that should not have ever gotten to that point.
That's
if it was
the thing, though. I included the reference, and it wasn't even a low-quality reference. It was an emailed photo, which means I know that it wasn't, like, compressed by Instagram. So I know it had all of the different details, because I even wrote out any and all details in case it was necessary. And I had asked, and I was like, is this okay with this reference? Because I supplied the references and said, would this be something that's doable? And he said yes.
Yeah, it's up to the artist if it's not something they're comfortable with drawing or they don't think they can do it to a reasonable expectation. Then it is up to the artist to communicate that and say, hey, this design is a bit too complicated for me. I don't think I can do it fully to what your expectations. Are you open to maybe simplifying the design, or is there something else I can do? Otherwise, I might have to reject this commission. It is up to the artist.
That was the main issue that I had, was mainly just the lack of communication.
Yeah.
Because it felt like I was fishing for a response every time I messaged, and I don't like that. And so my combined version, love it. Love the combination of my work and this guy's work at this point. I am never commissioning this person again. But yeah.
Tell me who that is so I don't, because I've been looking for different commission things for my own channel. So.
This isn't even for a channel or anything. This was for me.
Well.
But yeah, so that's some fun stuff. And because that's what I always wondered, is because he posts a bunch about his commissions and everything, and the people like respond, the people that commissioned it respond in the comments of like, oh, you were so fun to work with, thank you so much for doing this. And I'm like, did I just like draw a bad draw? Like, why is everyone else seemingly having an amazing experience, but I had like one of the worst commission experiences? Because at this point I've commissioned multiple different artists for multiple different characters, and this was like the worst experience I've ever had with one. And I've commissioned people like randomly off of Tumblr who I feel like it's even like less of a guarantee of stuff, and I've gotten responses from them within days. But I don't know. It's just it's something. But yeah, that's been going on.
In my opinion, if someone has paid you up front, you don't have room to be spiteful.
That's what I felt really horrible in the first couple of weeks, because I was like, I have no reason not to trust you, but also I haven't heard from you in 2 weeks.
I have no reason not to trust you, but I also don't have a lot of reason to trust you at this point.
That's what I feel like. I was just very conflicted because, like I said, on one hand, I'm very much a for the artist kind of person, Morgan and Morgan. But at the same time, I spent money on a service, basically. Yeah. So I don't know. I think it's just, if it happens in the future, we'll see how I respond to it. It would probably be very different than I responded to this one. But luckily, the other person that I commissioned is great. So at least there's that. But yeah.
Talking about commissions. This is related, but also so wildly random, I think.
Oh boy.
So I have a friend who...
You do?
I have a friend who's really into like clowncore stuff.
I know who you're talking about.
Do you?
I think I might.
Do you? You don't know this, as far as I know. You've never met this person.
I know. You'll have to send me their information after this too.
I have a friend who's really into clowncore, who apparently Quiz knows somehow.
Not like we've shared a breakfast together or anything, just like I'm pretty sure I may know this person in terms of I've seen stuff.
Okay. She's gotten like clown suits.
That's nice.
And everything. And like, so for like Halloween and stuff, she like, for her, like at her art college thing that she went to, she dressed up fully as a clown. And so I was asking her like, hey, where do you get your clown suits from?
That sounds like the beginning of a fanfic.
And she sent me this person who makes clown suits, and they make clown dresses. And one of the things that they do is when they do open up commissions, and they only open up a few slots like every year because they're big projects. But they have like one where you just send this person like a mood board or like a vibe, and then they do everything themselves, like they design it and all at like a fixed price. And I'm like, I want to do that. I want a clown dress.
Just for fun.
Just for fun, I think it would be cute.
You just show up to work one day in a clown dress.
I want more cute dresses.
Well, actually, funnily enough, on a very similar note, I ordered pants. I ordered pants. And these are not normal pants for me. These are pants that are very baggy, but specifically a flared out baggy. But they have a design on them of like not embroidered, but like stitched on distressed stars on them. So it's really cute. And I don't have pants like these yet. Well, I have them right now, but the thing is, I ordered them a size slightly bigger than normal because they're like a denim material. And because I know, unless it says stretchy denim, it is not stretchy denim. So I ordered like a size slightly bigger, and they can be pantsed off of me. So
Wow.
I am now in this dilemma because the place that I ordered it from does not do exchanges, they only do returns, and it costs $15 to return them. So I want to get in contact with a tailor to see if it's possible to like take in a couple of inches off of the waist, that they would at least sit better that way, and I wouldn't be worried about it like scrunching weird if I used a belt of any kind. Because otherwise, my other option is I have to pay $15, send it back in original packaging, and potentially order a smaller size if I still wanted to go with that kind of pant. And this was the initial reasoning why I was hesitant about ordering any clothes online. Because you can't try it on. But then no other places have like fun pants. Like you can't go to your local Belks and find a fun, cute pant.
I mean, that's why you go to a thrift store.
Are you kidding me? None of those pants will fit me and or are interesting enough for me. Because all the pants that would be in my size would be the normal men's pants. This would not be considered something that a normal person would have a size that would fit me, that would also be there. But yeah.
You are tall.
That's the funny part. These pants are so baggy and long, I would still need to wear like boots to make sure that they're not dragging fully on the ground, but they would still drag on the ground a bit. But it's it's a whole thing. Because I've also looked at, do you know techwear?
No.
It's a type of style / clothing where it's cyberpunk adjacent, essentially, where there's a lot of straps, a lot of pockets, a lot of things on top of stuff.
Okay.
And I found it interesting because I think the aesthetic in itself is really cool looking, but if you want like actually good clothes, good techwear clothes, each piece is over $100.
Jesus.
And the pants can go to like $300. So I don't think that's ever necessarily gonna be a thing that I can fully commit to. However, I did find a really cool shop that has holographic Pokemon designed t-shirts.
Ooh.
And I thought that could be interesting because they have things like Espeon, they have Mewtwo, they have a bunch of different other legendary ones, and they're like actually an actual holographic material on the shirt that makes you look like a hollow foil card. However, the first thing that I thought when I saw them, when I was like, how do you wash this? Because I would be worried, but apparently so long, granted this is what they say, so I can't guarantee this is actually how it forms, but so long as you turn it inside out, wash with cold water, and don't put it in the dryer and you let it air dry, it should be fine. But I don't know. But I've just been looking for a lot of different cool clothes recently, and I feel like it's hard to find cool clothes that are also affordable.
Yeah.
Because if you want a clothing item that actually is decent quality-wise as well as design-wise, it's typically gonna cost close to $100. But I guess that's what you pay for. Oh,
I mean,
and I got a new perfume in the subscription service that I have that kind of smells like a sweet motor garage. But
so I need to smell it, is what you're saying.
I do think you should smell it just to see what you think about it, because I do think the initial smell kind of gives like diesel fume vibes, but now that I've worn it multiple times, it gives much more leather vibes, which is I think what its intentional smell is supposed to be. So I don't know, it's questionable, but yeah. Anyways, wrap us up.
With what?
I don't know, you have stories. Tell us an allegory.
Allegory. I don't have an allegory.
I'm sure you do. You're smart.
Not off the top of my head. I got nothing, man. Oh wait, hold on. I didn't tell me fighting the washer.
Oh right. This will be our ending story.
I woke up this morning. I was still tired, and I wanted to make sure I didn't lay back down, and so I was like, let me wash my sheets and my blankets and everything. And so I put everything, and like I did not like overfill the washer. I want to make that clear. It was not. No. Compare, like, I would put like this amount of stuff, like this is less than like the amount of clothes I would put in there. And it finished doing its wash cycle, and I'm trying to take it out of the washer to put into the dryer. They're fucking soaked. These things are like literally filled with water still. And so I have moved them over to the dryer, and I start running the dryer, and I'm like, this might not be a good idea. And so I put them all back into the washer, and I ran a spin and drain cycle, and now I get to go see if they are drained. And if they're not, I get to run them again and pray that I am gonna be able to have bedclothes.
Bedclothes. Is that what you call a sheet, a bedclothes?
Yeah, like sheets and blankets and pillowcases are technically called bedclothes.
Wow.
So yeah, those are the demons I'm fighting currently. So
I'm looking at the clown dresses now.
they're cute, in my opinion.
I'm surprised you'd want to dress in not like one of the onesies. Or I guess jumpsuits,
like
it wouldn't be a onesie.
I do like both. I want both, frankly.
At the same time.
I'm always worried when it comes to jumpsuits or onesies or anything like that they're not gonna fit.
Well, I would
Because
imagine she asks
hips
for
and thighs.
dimensions.
Oh yeah, and also they're pretty baggy too, so I shouldn't need to worry too much about like them not fitting my legs or anything. But they're cute. I love them.
Well, Mikey, you've always been a clown. And so is Sarah.
I mean, I embrace it. I love being a clown.
They're, we'll see. We'll be fine. Hopefully, next week, there will be a theme.
We'll see.
I mean, I have some to pull from, but it also means that Sarah has to also, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So there we are. This has been Wet and Gushy.
No, it hasn't.
And yeah.
Ew, you're so fucking annoying.
You like that sound bit a bit too much.
Because it sounds so natural. It sounds so delicious.
Okay.
So, with that, I will see you all on Wednesday. And Sarah might see you on Tuesday. You never know.
We'll see.
Bye.
Bye.